Today is Monday, June 1st, 2015, and this rant will be on the Highway Trust Fund and the campaign of Senator Bernie Sanders. Now, recently the House of Representatives kicked the can down the road for the Highway Trust Fund for a couple months. I'm assuming the Senate did the same thing. Don't know if the Senate actually did that, but again, nothing different from the current Highway Trust Fund. There are thousands of projects that are going on in the United States right now: roads, bridges, underpasses, et cetera, toll booths, that need to be fixed. And we know that the gas tax needs to be raised. The gas tax, I believe, is at 19-something cents a gallon. It was established in 1993. The Senate didn't have the foresight or didn't have the votes to, at that particular point, tie the gasoline tax to the cost of living, inflation, etc. Because if it did, then the gas tax now would be about 12 cents more per gallon, I believe. Even one Republican senator, Bob Corker, did talk about maybe bringing that into line, meaning raising the gas tax by 6 cents. And then raising it up a couple cents a year until it was in line. But remember, all the money that was lost by the transportation fund from 1993 till now, wow, 20-some years, that money's gone forever. And all of the things that are wrong about our highway transportation system have been exacerbated by that. And what can be done about it? Now, I do remember, I believe it was right after 9/11, that someone said what Bush should do is go to the well of Congress and just say, hey, listen, we're not going to be hostage to what's going on over in the Middle East anymore. I want a gasoline tax raised. I want it 1 cent a gallon for the next 48 months for the rest of my presidency. Blah blah. Let's say he got that in. So 1 cent a month wouldn't really matter a whole lot, and it would give industry and businesses and manufacturers a heck of a lot of time to make their products better, more energy efficient. And then that money would be used for the Highway Trust Fund, and then it would also be used for making more efficient cars. That never happened. I wish Obama had done that. But that is something that Bernie Sanders would do. Now, whether he could get it through this Congress, I don't really know. But he would find a way. And that's one of the biggest things that he has been talking about, is the fact that we are about $2 trillion in the hole in terms of the amount of money that we need to invest to make our transportation system adequate enough. It should be more than adequate. At one time, it was the best transportation system in the world. It certainly is not even remotely close to it right now. We know that China, Japan, France, and most of Europe have trains that can go much, much faster than ours. They invest very much in that public transportation. I believe that France has trains that go over 200 miles all the time. Was it Japan that had one that could actually go up to 300 miles, but they weren't going to do that, 300 miles per hour, but they were not going to do that, with people on board. I know Elon Musk put out something about a bullet train that would go between LA and San Francisco. Don't know what became of that, but you need to have public investment in these types of things, and it takes years, but the rewards are worth it. The rewards have always been worth it. We need to have our goods brought to market right away. Now, Bernie Sanders, everyone wants to refer to him as a socialist. I will only describe myself and to say that I am a progressive capitalist. And many of the things that he espouses, I would espouse to also. But Bernie Sanders is getting some traction. He had 3,500 people the other day in Minnesota, ranting, raging, cheering him on. And he actually could get a tremendous amount of traction. What will that do for Hillary? Don't really know. She says, she could go far to the left as Bernie Sanders from a technical standpoint, and that'd be great for her, that'd be great for the U.S., and she could always say, but I'm a capitalist and he's a socialist, see what happens there. But I think the main point of this whole thing is that this is just one small aspect of what's going on in the United States right now, is that we used to invest in the future. We used to invest in the future by having us pay today for the things that needed to be repaired, let's say in the transportation bill, because we know that that bill is eventually going to become due. That we have, what did they say, 60,000 bridges that are in dire need of repair. And how long will that take for that to happen? And remember, the Highway Trust Fund, uses the current gas tax to fund these things, so they're not being funded adequately. And remember, if it's not extended, then thousands of projects that are going on nationwide are affected by this. Now, the biggest thing about all of this is it's federal money that's invested back into the state from the gasoline tax that makes all of these things work. So currently you probably have several hundred people who are working on all this stuff all across the United States. Now you raise the gas tax, you know that you're going to have more money. You can borrow money at an exceptionally low interest rates right now. You have an exceptionally hardworking workforce that is willing and able to do that type of work, and this type of thing can't get going right away. It doesn't have to take years and years. But it can't, first off, you'd have to identify the major ones first. But you have all of this available, and what will that do? More manufacturing for more types of equipment that needs to be used in concrete, steel, that type of thing. These are the types of things that we need, and all of the computer systems are going to be needed to get all of the purchasing, etc., tracking it, monitoring it, going through the whole thing. There's all kinds of benefits that we would get from this. And of course, even though the gas tax is a recessive tax, meaning, let's say I make, I don't know how much I make, but let's just say someone makes $300,000, okay, a lot more than I make. They might only do 20,000 miles a year in their car, just like I might only do that. So the tax is much greater on me than on them, but it is something that could be easily absorbed if we get it going. And we need to get this going right away. And the point that I'd make about Bernie Sanders is that he knows that this is one of many areas where we need to invest in the future. Not just the highway transportation fund, educational funding, all of this type of stuff. We need to do that. We need to do that now.